What's going on, guys? My name is Jake.
I'm Jesus.
This is your Body Comp Prescription, where we help you navigate through all things health and fitness. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at BodyCompRx. We're not doctors or nutritionists, so keep that in mind as we start the conversation. Jesus, what are we talking about today for episode number 8?
Yeah, guys, welcome to episode number 8. I think today we're going to be talking about BCAAs versus EAAs. If you don't know what that is, it's branched chain amino acids versus your essential amino acids. We're going to go dive deep into what they are. Does it help you? When to take them? Everything you want to know about BCAAs and EAAs.
Cool. Yeah. So before we dive into that, I just wanted to talk about why we're doing this. We know that a lot of people are really curious about supplements. Like Jesus said, like when to take them, what do they do? Are they even worth your money? And we want to help you guys better understand what some of these supplements are, especially some of the popular ones, because, you know, we were once in your shoes and we were trying to do, you know, as much research as we could, but, you know, we may have spent a little bit too much money. Maybe we didn't spend enough money in the right places on certain supplements, so on and so forth, you know. So Jesus, why don't we get it started? You want to get us started talking about amino acids?
Yeah. So I think it's good to know the importance of amino acids. So I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this in the past, right? In other previous episodes. If you haven't listened to them, go ahead and check them out. But we always talk about how our body is in this process of always making proteins and breaking down proteins, right? Every muscle, organ, and tissue we create, it's always in that state of synthesizing and breaking these proteins down. And we're always striving to find a way to become in this state of our body creating more protein than we are breaking down, right? So amino acids can also be found in our bloodstreams. They help build proteins, but if you don't have a sufficient amount of amino acids, then we lose that ability to make proteins, and also we're breaking those muscles down. And that's kind of like the importance of why amino acids are even important and why we're talking about it today.
Yeah. So proteins are made up of amino acids, right? We like to use the terminology like amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. You know, that's usually what people say when talking about amino acids. So, you know, the thought is that by consuming or whether it's eating or supplementing with, you know, exogenous amounts of either BCAAs or EAAs, you know, we have a better chance at maximizing our protein synthesis, right? So, you know, which is a good thing, especially if our goal is to build muscle, right? So, you know, like Jesus said, BCAAs are branched chain amino acids, and they're composed of 3 different amino acids: leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which target a mechanism that signal mTOR. mTOR basically begins the process of protein synthesis. So you can see why people believe that BCAAs would be a beneficial supplement to include in their, you know, in their arsenal, right? But EAAs are essential amino acids, and it's composed of 9, including those other 3 BCAAs. Okay. Essential amino acids are important, like Jesus said, for not only protein synthesis, but they're also important for a couple of other things, which, you know, we'll talk about in a second. But EAAs are proteins that our body can't produce on its own. So, you know, we need to consume them. You know, we need to consume them through our food, or again, we can try and supplement with them.
Yeah, I think so. It's like kind of like, why do people take amino acids? What do amino acids claim to do when you go into your Nutri shop and you pick up some amino acids? So if you look at those labels, amino acids, they claim to help with muscle repair and muscle recovery, right? They reduce muscle soreness. They claim to increase your energy production and promote healthy blood sugar, support your cardiovascular health, and reduce fatigue while training. So that's kind of like their selling point on why individuals should be taking their amino acids.
Yeah, and you know, I think, you know, with claims like these, people put I think people put a really high emphasis on wanting to buy amino acid supplements and take them because, research has shown that a deficiency in these amino acids can result in, decreased immunity, some digestive issues, fertility issues, even mental alertness, cognitive function, stuff like that. So you can kind of see with deficiencies in those things, they cause some pretty significant side effects. So, supplementing with amino acids, at least with pairing them with their claims of what they do, may be something that interests you. But what I want to bring to the conversation is that, how do these compare to protein powders, right? Like, we're talking about amino acids being the building blocks of proteins, right? So how do amino acid supplements compare to protein powders? In my personal opinion, I think a whey supplement is a much better option than just a plain amino acid supplement, whether it be EAAs or BCAAs, because whey, alongside being composed of those amino acids, it offers satiety benefits, so it helps keep you like fuller for longer, because a lot of times whey supplements have higher quantities of protein than an amino acid supplement does. I think it's cheaper also. You can get whey protein for like dirt cheap, whether it be like isolate or concentrate, or any protein powder for that matter. You can get protein powders for a lot cheaper than you can amino acid supplements. And just to explain why that is because the way that a whey protein gets made is just by extracting it from lactose and milk and dairy products. So it's a very quick process. It only requires a very few amount of steps, whereas an amino acid supplement requires a really complicated amount of filtration and processing in order to extract those very few amino acids to put into a product. So it's a lot more expensive because the processes that needed to be done to create the product are higher. So, personally, I think whey might be the better option just because it's cheap, and again, it keeps you fuller for longer.
I wanted to bring up the point too that protein products like the whey protein powders that you'd see out there, the reason why Jake, I think, argues for this is because it also absorbs into your system much faster than your normal dietary products. And by these, I mean, your red meats, your eggs, your soy, even your plant-based proteins. That's why a lot of people choose whey protein powders over just taking your, amino acids or as a supplement. These are very beneficial because it helps you reach that target benefit of what you want from your amino acids much quicker.
Yeah, and to kind of put this into perspective for everyone, if you were to take a protein powder, a whey protein powder, that contains, let's say, 25 grams of protein, you're getting 25 grams worth of amino acids, right? Because amino acids compose proteins. So that's quite a lot. But if you were to get a BCAA or an EAA supplement, you'd be lucky to get, around 10 grams of amino acids in that supplement. So not only is a whey protein most of the time cheaper, but it also packs a lot more amino acid value than an amino acid supplement to begin with. So you can kind of see why I at least I personally err on the side of choosing a protein powder over an amino acid BCAA or EAA. But I just wanted to put that out there because adding the amino acid supplement on top of a protein may be you may be wasting the money because you're already getting all of those things in a product that you already have. So one thing that I found that helps kind of support why I choose whey over BCAAs or EAAs is because BCAAs, when fasted, like if you were to take a BCAA supplement in the morning before you go do fasted cardio, has actually been found to decrease protein synthesis. And this is really important, right? Because especially if our goal is muscle building, or just recovery in general, right? Protein synthesis is really necessary. And the reason that this is because those three BCAAs, right? Leucine, isoleucine, and valine, right? They tend to break down other proteins in order to make complete proteins with those other 6 essential amino acids. So if you consume them alone, they might be doing more harm for you than good if your nutrition isn't in order, because again, they do break down pre-existing proteins in order to complete the protein with the other 6, essential amino acids. If you were trying to be serious about maximizing your, your muscle growth, BCAAs may be leaving some of those, the quote unquote like gains on the table, because of you're decreasing the ratio of breakdown to, or sorry, you're increasing the ratio of protein breakdown to protein synthesis.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's really good. But one thing to consider is like who would actually benefit from taking these amino acid supplements, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Jake's talking about like, you may leave some of those like possible muscle growth like opportunities on the table, but there are some like groups of population of people who would actually benefit from taking this. And I think it's important to understand that if you're an individual who is on a vegan diet, or you are vegan, or individuals who eat like primarily plant-based proteins, plant-based meals, um, it's something to consider, because most of the time when you're taking these two options, you kind of lack or have a deficiency in protein in your normal meals. So taking these amino acids are a good option to kind of help you reach your, because we all have a normal amount of protein we should be consuming in a day, right? And if you're going vegan, you're lacking those. You're not eating your normal red meats, your chicken every day. So it's good to consider that when you are one of those individuals in those like specific diets.
Yeah, and I think real quick, what I want to talk about is that we're not necessarily saying that being on a plant-based diet is bad or being vegan is bad, but what we're trying to get at is that you can get your daily protein needs from plant-based sources, but the reason that an EAA or a BCA may be for you is because those plant-based sources don't have complete proteins. So you tend to miss out on, it varies from product to product, but versus an animal source, most animal sources have complete proteins in them. So omnivorous diets, like what normal people have, contain a lot of complete proteins, whereas vegans and plant-based diets don't always have complete proteins. So that's why taking an amino acid supplement would be good for that population, for people who eat plant-based and are vegan.
No, yeah, that's good. That's a good catch. So I guess the next thing I want to say is like, when should you take amino acids, or why did at the end, most people take these amino acids because they're looking to enhance their performance, right? Where I stand on amino acids and whether or not you should take them, I think if you're doing everything you can, if you already looked into your nutrition and you think you're doing the best you can for nutrition, you looked into your fitness, you're doing everything you can for for your fitness, your workout regimen, I think if you need that little opportunity to enhance everything a little bit more, then that's when maybe amino acid as a supplement will benefit you, right? I don't think amino acids are the answer to everything. I don't think it's a magic powder that it's going to solve everything, whether it's going to make you build muscle or lose weight. I don't think that if you're looking for that, amino acids aren't going to give you that. But I think
Yeah.
if you want the opportunity to improve your goals, or if you want to enhance everything that you've already been doing, then maybe amino acids are something you should look into. But like how I've been saying, it's kind of like the very last step that you take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also heard stories or individuals that they tend to take these during their workout, in between their sets,
Yeah.
and this is because amino acids, what they claim to do is help you with muscle fatigue and kind of uh, rebuilding your muscles. So obviously when you're working out, you're breaking down those muscles. So if you're it's thought that if you're consuming your amino acids while you're breaking them down by working out, you're kind of finding that back and helping you get back into it. um, I've also heard that other people throughout the day will drink their amino acids kind of as a substitute from drinking sugary drinks or sodas or any kind of
Yeah.
anything other than just water. It's a good option because if it has low sugar. So that's maybe like that's another option if you are taking your amino acids. But yeah, that's kind of like my take. I don't know if you feel the same way about that.
I feel pretty similarly in the sense that, if you have the money and you have all of those other things taken care of, like your nutrition is basically as good as it's gonna get, and you've found your sustainable diet, right? Like the
Mhm.
thing that you do week to week, and your diet doesn't really fluctuate, right? If you have mastered your diet, and you can control what goes in and out, then I would say, yeah, they might be helpful for you. Like Jesus used a good word, opportunity. Like, I think that's what everyone is looking for within a supplement.
Mhm.
But their intentions are usually wrong. I would say they they obviously want that opportunity to get the best results possible, right? But a lot of times, what they do is they become reliant on them, assuming that these products are going to do exactly what they say that they're going to do. Um, and if that were the case, the the supplement industry wouldn't be as profitable as it was, because there are people who buy them hoping that they do these things and don't do them. Because, right, if they did, then you wouldn't need them for the rest of your life. You would
Yeah.
eventually not need them anymore until you can get all of those other things under control, like your nutrition, right?
Mhm.
So, if you have the extra money, you can go for it. But, I think, you have to make sure all your nutrition is under control first. But if I had to pick one, I would definitely choose EAAs over BCAAs, simply because of the whole, changing the ratio of breakdown to protein breakdown to protein synthesis. Um, I think if you're going to take that step and invest in an amino acid supplement to begin with, you might as well just go for amino acids and get the complete thing, as opposed to just getting three of them with the thought that those BCAAs could potentially break down pre-existing proteins in order to, complete the process. So if I had to choose
Mhm.
one, EAAs over BCAAs,
Mhm.
but I would choose a protein powder over both of them,
Mhm.
because, again, you know, helps me stay full for longer. You get more amino acids than you do in an amino acid supplement. Um, and it's cheaper. I'm a pretty, cheap guy. So if I can get the most bang for my buck, I would say a protein powder is the best of, like, all of those worlds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got. I hope that makes sense. You have anything else you have to
No,
say?
no, no. I think that was a good way to end it there.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in and listening, as always. We'll catch you in the next one.
Peace
Peace.
out. Thanks again for tuning into our podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to listen to this week's episode.
If you enjoyed the conversation, we would love it if you shared this with someone who would find this helpful. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at BodyCompRx for more tips and information. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.